What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Detroit Love, with another video. Hey, today I just want to go live. It's the holidays. Don't have to work tomorrow, so come out and see who shows up and just hang out and enjoy talking about our favorite company, whether you love them or hate them. Arcade1Up. They have reshaped over the years to become what they are today, and that is basic fun. But they have also reshaped a lot of our homes, a lot of our hobbies, a lot of our uh, a lot of the way that we have entertained ourselves over the years. So I just want to talk about that. Um, so let's get it started. What up, fellas? What up, P-Dubs? Sir Sega, Thor, Cade. Um, yeah, the patch. So P-Dubs was asking, oh no, there's nothing to be, oh no, there's nothing wrong with my eye. I just want to wear a patch. I'm a pirate. Hey, if Nick Fury can do it, I can do it. But you guys all know I have a weak eye. My eye has gone pretty much blind over the last few years. Um, and other than just a little bit of peripheral on the far right side, I've always primarily used my left eye since I was 10 years old. Um, but so I'm probably going to be wearing a patch whenever I'm online going forward, just for my comfort, you know, so I don't have to worry about where my right eye is going, you know. Um, so let's get into the subject matter. Um, yeah, the Lions they have not they have not done well over the last few months, last month or so. Every other game, you can't you can't become a championship team caliber team by winning every other game. And after almost 3 years, they finally lost two in a row with this last game. They showed up late with effort on that last game, and it cost them. Last couple of games they've lost by 7 points or less, but they lost nevertheless. And you got to win these games. So I want to just come hang out with you guys tonight and just talk about um, Arcade1Up. A lot of talk been going on lately about Arcade1Up, and we all know that Basic Fun has acquired most of their or some of their assets, whatever was necessary for them to be able to support the hardware that's they still have out in the market. So we're going to assume that's some technical support, probably some online play, um, and obviously some resources. Um, thanks, P Dub. Some resources that are required for them to be able to, for it to make sense for them to get some money from Basic Fun for it, right? Um, so let's start from the beginning. So 2018, I'm going to show you guys. Let's maximize this thing here. So this is what my basement looked like back in 2018. I had all this space, and I've always been a gadget guy. I always have all kinds of trinkets, gadgets, and I buy all kinds of stuff. And I just had, literally just had all of the, now all of these weren't empty. Some of the things had items in them that I would use, but a lot of these things were just empty boxes of all the various different things that I purchased over the years. Well, since I've been in this house, pretty much, and I had been in this house about 4 years when by 2018. Thor, you crazy. All right, but yeah, so this is where I started from, and I'm sure on this desktop somewhere is a Pi, and I had arcade games on it, playing with a controller of sorts, and that's what I had. That's what I had to work with for my arcade to be able to enjoy the games I love. Um, yeah, this helicopter, I flew that thing literally for like maybe 5 minutes, and it crashed and burned. Not burned, but it crashed and it never operated again. So that was a lot of wasted money there. I think I literally got off the ground maybe 10 feet before it crashed, and that was just crazy because that RC helicopter you had to control every aspect of it. I have drones. You see this cheap drone, this 180 right above it. That I had that, and I flew that a little bit, but soon I went to who's the big maker of the Chinese maker of the drones. Of course, the Scotch is going to have me not think as clearly about recalling certain things. But anyway, I went to one of the drones that hovers. If you take your hands off the controller, it just hovers in space, right, in place. So I fly that quite a bit and enjoy. Oh, there's one right there, the white one. Now this white one, I crashed that one in the sort of right of center there, the white drone. That was before I got the black one that was much smaller. But this thing, similarly, I flew this for a long time. DJI, that's correct. DJI, thanks, Jabba. DJI, I still have mine, love it. But this white DJI here, I was at my best friend Sean's kid's graduation, and I was doing some video, and I took it off under this tree, and I flew out, and I was coming down for a landing or something, and I moved it over just like a foot, and then when I took it up, it hit this tree, and that thing broke. Just a small little piece, but it happened right at the time when DJI switched from this body to the one that they have today, and they were no longer supplying parts for it. So I have that drone sitting somewhere that's just totally useless. So I never throw away anything. I never get anything. So I have a curtain over here that's just all of these boxes, all kinds of gadgets, old computers, old gaming systems, just you name it. It's all behind that curtain. But yeah, so that was my basement. And then Arcade1Up came on the scene, right? And so here, so this was my first Arcade1Up, the Street Fighter, and this is putting together the riser, which was a separate product, but you see all the boxes in the background. That was my basement. That was, you see, I had my chairs, my chairs. I sat and watched my big screen TV, but Arcade1Up changed my basement dramatically, and it's an incredible space today that I just enjoy. But here's the commercial that started off.
Dad, how do I eat all the ghosts? Dad.
I can teach you, buddy.
Bring the classic arcade experience home with Arcade1Up. Cabinets and risers each sold separately.
Yeah, so that was the start of the Arcade1Up, man. For a lot of people, these were the initial cabinets. I wanted that Asteroids cabinet, never could get it. And you see, it had Lunar Lander, which I wanted to get. I ended up getting the Tempest, which had many of these games, everything but Lunar Lander, so that was a bummer. Um, Rampage, I never really had much interest in that, but I definitely loved some Joust. Clearly, Defender was not playable on this thing here, so I definitely didn't want to get that. I'm surprised Gauntlet and Rampage never came back on any other cabinets, as far as I remember. Right, Defender came on a Partycade. Joust had his own cabinet, right? Without Rampage and Gauntlet never made a return visit. Um, but Arcade1Up 2018 came on the scene with just a few. What up, Biggie D? With just a few cabinets. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody. But these were all the shark fin cabinets, right? Nothing unique about any of these. They all look the same, same everything. No backlit marquees, no foam coin doors, no taller, no cabinets without the risers. They all look the same. Oh, were they? Yeah, see, I would never even thought that. Okay, combat. So Gauntlet and Rampage were added to those Mortal Kombat and Midway Legacy cabinets collections. But yeah, but so a lot of people got these, but the most excitement came in this community once ETA Prime showed people that you could put more games into these cabinets. Because you see here the list of games, it wasn't a whole lot of games in any of these cabinets. Most of them had 2, 3, 4, not a whole lot of games. But ETA Prime came on and showed people, look, you can just put a pie into this thing. And man, the interest level shot up. I don't think Arcade ever would have had the same type of success. Definitely, they weren't ready for it. They definitely didn't anticipate that type of response. But it was a totally different market at that point in time. What up, Dr. C? The gold old days. Yeah, this was exciting because now, whether you loved them, whether you had issues out the gate, like my Galaga cabinet when I first got it, the marquee was upside down, printed upside down. I had to order a new one from them, a replacement one. They sent it. I still have the old one as well. I since then put in a backlit marquee one, so I have the right side and upside down version of that in a box somewhere. I have boxes full of PCBs of most of them are Street Fighter. I probably have 12 or more PCBs for Street Fighter. I have a few, the Galaga, obviously I modded that. Marvel, the Marvel, which is one of my favorite mods of all time. Modding came onto the scene. Thank you to ETA Prime in introducing that. What up, though? B. Kirby. Biggie said his first cabinet was Final Fight. So 2018 Arcade1Up made it possible to bring the arcade into your living room. So yeah, what was I have one of my questions here. What was one of your first arcade cabinets from Arcade1Up? Drop it in the chat. So Biggie D, his first one was Final Fight. My first one was Street Fighter. My second one was Galaga. Galaga is the only one I really got at a bargain, lower price. I got that on Black Friday 2018. And they had it mismarked. And I was able to get it, and they wouldn't give anybody else that afterwards. Those were my first two cabinets, then Golden T. So those are the three that I had for a long time before I went crazy. Star Wars, Sir Sega said his was 2019. Star Wars, I didn't get Star Wars probably to 2020, 2021 maybe. Yeah, it was definitely late. I definitely didn't get it from Arcade1Up. I got it from some German uh, mail order company. Can't even pronounce the name of it. Um, and got it for probably just under $500. B. Kirby, the Chicago arcade guy, says Galaga, then Frogger. Now Frogger is a game I have many ways to play that. I have it on my obviously on my modded Galaga. Loves me some Frogger. I don't know that I ever would want just a dedicated cabinet. Now, again, I modded. A lot of people didn't mod. And put in the chat if you kept your Arcade1Up cabinet stock. If you never modded any, let me know if you modded or you kept them stock. So put stock or mod in the chat. Just curious how many people kept them stock and then how many people modified them. So S. Shrek said, got into the arcade thing late. Simpsons was his first cab. Dr. C said he had the 12-in-1. See, that's what I wanted. I wanted the 12-in-1 because that's not the 12-in-1 here, right? That's shown on the far right. Is that the 12-in-1? I don't believe it is. But I wanted to get that 12-in-1. Cannot find it anywhere. Oh, I was so upset. And if I couldn't get that one, I at least wanted the one with Lunar Lander. Never could get that one either. So I ended up with Tempest, but they took Lunar Lander off and replaced it with some wacky game. Jim, the Pacer fan, welcome and happy holiday, guys, for those joining in. Says, hi, everybody. I don't know why this thing, that's because that's a video. Hi, everyone. My first cab was MK2 via Walmart. Hadn't heard of Arcade1Up until my wife mentioned it in a next door post for sale. Now I have 10. Absolutely. And and this is the way the store used to look back in the day. Remember, you could go to any Walmart and you could see rows. You know, they had a dedicated aisle. Usually had some type of accessories that you could get as well, that were themed, arcade themed. They had the demos up there. You see, this one wasn't playable in this picture here because people would take the red ball off, and or they would wear away the paint because they were messing with it, right? And so it didn't look as attractive. So some stores had it like this. Some stores let you play it. But you had this display. You had it so people can get to see the size of it, how it's going to look, be able to stand next to it, see how tall they would be, that type of thing. And you have boxes and boxes and boxes here to be able to get these cabinets whenever you want it. Walmart was the primary seller at the time. I got a super chat, JR, man. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Modding is half the fun. Absolutely. People talk about the prices. Yeah, if we can get the cabinets cheaper, because if we're going to mod it, we're going to put more money into it anyway. So we would save some money if we could get the cabinets. So some people around the country could get those fire sales. Here in Detroit, that just never happened. You always had to pay the full price. B. Kirby, all of them stock except for Mortal Kombat Legacy has a Raspberry Pi 4 with 30,000 games and sending game light guns. I saw somebody else say, "What up, GI Joe?" Jim the Pacer said he kept his stock. Sir Sega said, "I upgraded buttons and marquees on all my cabinet." Yep, that was the very first mod for a lot of us, right? It's like, man, we want our arcades to look like an arcade and light up. When the lights were off, you want to be able to see those marquees. And at the time, it was just all wood with a decal on it. None of the cabinets at the start. I think the first cabinet, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the first cabinet that had a backlit marquee was the Golden Tee. Was there another one you guys recall? The first Arcade1Up cabinet that had a backlit marquee. I believe Golden Tee was the first one to break the mold of the shark fin. Is that true? Or was it Frogger or one of those other cabinets? Let me hear in the chat. What up, Jason, little alien? Got the wrench on. Appreciate you, brother. Um, just talking about Arcade1Up. We're back in 2018, talking about the cabinets that everyone had, whether they kept them stock or they mod them. Yep, sometimes joysticks. Now, unless I modded the whole cabinet, the only Arcade1Up cabinet that I changed out the joystick is my Pro, my Brain Activate, my Killer Instinct Pro, and I still have one. I replaced the player one, and I left the stock in for player two so I can test the difference. And I never put the second one in, so it's in a drawer over there somewhere. I need to do that at some point in time. But that's the only cabinet I modded that I kept stock, but changed out the joysticks. And that was the Killer Instinct Pro. What up? What up, Steph's Turbo Show? Hope you are okay, D-Love. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I am fantastic. I have not a complaint in the world. My sister and mother's in town. Gonna see them tomorrow night for her birthday, my sister's birthday, and my auntie. They share the same birthday. So I'm gonna run by and see both of them. My aunt and cousins there, and then my sisters and everybody that shows up to both of those events. This week is gonna be fun field, family field, holiday. So it's gonna be great. Today was my last day at work for the week or for the year, actually. Go back on the 5th. So I'm excited to have some time off and just enjoy doing what I like. All right, so let me catch up. Let's see. Yep. So B Kirby says Chicago. Yeah, the big cities. I think you were getting those small cities that were getting the discounted fire sales. We never got it. Ollie's came on the scene, and you might get a slight difference. I don't know if the price was different. It's just that you got them beyond their availability from Arcade1Up. Let me see what the next thing on the list was talking about. Okay, so again, these were it was the spark, it was the drive. Everybody was excited. These were affordable 3/4 scale arcade cabinets. Clearly a dream for anybody that didn't have the cash to buy these big multi-Ks, because arcades weren't new. You either had original cabinets or you had these big mega Ks that cost $2,500 and up, right? So these were affordable. These were extremely affordable. You can get the riser, and so let me know in the comments. Did you do riser, the cabinets without the riser? So riser or without riser, with riser or without riser? Let me know. Did you like to keep yours without the riser, or you added the riser to them? Yes. Hope everyone has a safe and wonderful holiday all around. Yes. Enjoy time with your family and friends, man. These gadgets and these inanimate objects are cool, but spending time with loved ones, because none of us are guaranteed another day on this earth. And if we are blessed with one, we should definitely take advantage of it. And, and I always like to pick up the phone. We text and email and, do these, Facebook posts and instant messages. Sometimes just pick up the phone. My best time for phone calls is on the road. Whenever I'm driving, I have an hour to and from work. So those are usually the time I'll call people, because once I'm in the house in the winter, I'm doing these type of things because that's the only time I really get to do it. And in the summertime, I'm out doing something outside. So the driving is the only really good time I get to talk on the phone. So people expect to hear from me. So Sir Sega says risers. Jim the Patriot fan, he got risers. All of mine has risers. I never ever kept one without a riser. And again, there's the assembling of the one riser for my first cabinet. And this was an adventure as well, right? For those who wanted the risers, right? You had to go find these risers. They weren't always available at every store. It was a point at a time when they were price gouging on the risers and trying to get more money for them. Uh, they were just a plain Jane with the Arcade1Up logo, really faint there. If you didn't like that, you could flip it around. Um, and I believe Golden Tee was the first one. The NBA Jam obviously came with a custom riser. Then they started going from the generic one riser fit all to some generic to some custom risers for the cabinets. Let me get caught up. Thor says they've made a lot of improvements since the first gen, but don't overlook the biggest feature, and that was the price, $299. Goofy Foot, welcome, brother. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Bill the Retro Gaming Show says Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Got to have risers on mine. Have 5 1-up so far. Awesome. Golden Tee was the first lit marquee. That's what I thought. B. Kirby, my first 2 cabs with matching risers were Frogger and NBA Jam. Yeah, so the risers made a difference. Most people wanted risers. There were some people that, wanted to keep them down low, whether they had kids or they wanted to sit down at them instead of standing up. And so what about stools? With stool or no stool? Now, some of the cabinets came with stools. Others you would have had to have gone and purchased either a custom, a matching or theme appropriate stool, or you just got a generic stool. So let me know in the comments, did you get stools for your cabinets or kept them without a stool? So stand or sit, right? Outside of the stools that came with the cabinets, did you buy additional stools or you just kept them without stools? Let me know in the comments there. Let's see here. Jim the Patient fan said, oh yeah, the risers finally became available at Arcade1Up, but the shipping was ridiculous. Yeah. Like I said, there was a point when they was trying to get all kinds of crazy money for those risers. I used to be a stool hater, but now I love them. The stools just add, that it just it's part of the decorations to the room, right? It's part of the decor. Whenever people come over, they love to sit on them. Sometimes I had to take them out the way. I move them around. I use them for props for other things. But I love my stools. Matter of fact, one of the guys I modded his Street Fighter for, he said he had a couple of stools for me. I was supposed to pick those up. I had to check with him. Maybe on the holiday I can go grab them if he hadn't already gotten rid of them. Jason Little Alien says, let me clear this. I don't know why this. There we go. I have 4 stools, but none of them came with one. The branded ones are not comfortable though. Yeah, like you see in my background. So that's what's that tool store where you can get the cheaper tools? I know there's a delay, so I'll give you guys a chance to do that while you guys are responding. I know you guys know. You guys know everything. I never bought a cab with a stool, but I bought a few after the fact, usually when I can find them at a good price. Thor says, I haven't bought any additional stool, but I have Simpsons, Blitz, Big Blue, Killer Instinct, and Tron. So I share with you, I have the Blitz that came with it, I have the Big Blue that came with it, and I have the Killer Instinct that came with the Pro. I never got Tron. I was definitely interested in Tron. Simpsons, I was never really interested in the Simpsons cabinet, though I know you could get those at a fire sale. I think those are probably the cheapest cabinets you can get around here if I was interested. But the but I can play Simpson now with a bunch of other games on my Blitz. So all the 3 and 4 player games I have on my Blitz. Thank you to the Mystery Encoder and team Mystery Encoder. Harbor Freight, there you go. Thank you, Jason. For Harbor Freight, I got this flaming stool because you see you got these flames in my iArcade on the Double Dragon uh, decal. So that matched up well with that. That was just a stock thing. You see, I got a Pac-Man one. That's my first and only mod to a stool. I made that where it can rotate instead of being stationary, and that definitely helps. I have the NBA Jam, which came with that cabinet, and I have the Golden Tee, which came with that cabinet. Over here, I have Blitz with it, Killer Instinct with it, and Big Blue that has its. And I believe those are all the stools that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stools. Goofy Foot says I brought a cheap stool for my first gen cabinets. They've outlasted the 1-up stools. They're only $27 each. Oh, so Goofy Foot, what are they? Just like plain color, black, or one solid color, or they do have patterns on those $27 stools? Interesting. Or do they have patterns like this flame that I have for mine? Jim the Patriots fan said I bought a stool at Harbor Freight and got the Simpson stool combo. I would not spend $80 for one, but that is me. Yeah, those were outrageous for those. I would like to have had a Lions one to go with my Blitz, but they wanted like $80 plus. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I use a nice stool. The 1-ups are rock hard. I still have the 1-up stools, but don't use them. What up, Michael B. the Game Genie? Happy holiday. And Orion Z's Dreams is talking about those stools. They are definitely hard for his rear end there. Gotta have some stools for sure. Michael B says he's bought so many stools. Thor says I got Simpson instead of Ridge Racer because it came with the stool and a 10 sign. Miss Thor loves it, but my biggest home arcade regret is missing a racing cab. Yep, I never got a racing cab either. And so Goofy Foot said they're just black and they are adjustable. All right, so let me see what was next on here. So the non-lit marquees, stiff joysticks, no door, no coin doors. Those were the initial complaints right there. It's like we want to have these things look closer to the real arcade, right? Those are our complaints. Backlit marquees missing, no coin doors, crappy joysticks for the most part. I never updated any of my monitors. Have any of you guys updated your monitors on the Arcade1Ups? Did you put a 19-inch monitor? I know this scotch is delicious, but Tulsa Arcade. I know he had a monitor bracket that he sold and still sells today that people can put in the bigger monitors. Did any of you guys put monitors upgrade? Because I've always been happy with this. I'm fine with the 17-inch. Obviously, my Killer Instinct Pro has a 19-inch. That's the biggest monitor, I believe, of the bunch, aside from my At Games monitor. But I never saw a need to upgrade the monitor, and I have access to all kinds of monitors at work. We swap out monitors all the time. I could get a monitor anytime. I just hadn't had any interest. Now my Galaga has the screen's going bad. I don't know if it's going bad or the cable's loose, so I had to open it up. Being an arcade operator, even at 3/4 scale, there are things you have to do around the arcade to keep it going. I was in one of the cabinets. It was Star Wars. I went to Star Wars to put the coin door in, and some of the adhesive that Buy Stuff had getting with their box had come loose. And the thing was just dangling, so I had to do some cleanup in there. Um, so with the mods, man, I mean, even the mods, evolution of it. Each of my cabinets got better and better. Instead of using adhesive, I started using tie downs and hardware mounts and things like that. So we're talking about the reshaping of Arcade1Up, because Arcade1Up has never been the same since its origin in 2018. It's always reshaping, always modifying, changing, whether they wanted to or not, whether we did it without their assistance, whether we did it with third-party vendors. Arcade1Up has always been changing, reforming, reshaping over the years. And so some of the things that we did, the mods, the coin door was a big thing for me. So both my modded cabinets, and I have a vertical cabinet that's Galaga modded that has only vertical games on it, and then I have my Street Fighter, which has the horizontal games, and it only has the horizontal games. Now, I did have a mishap where I had many images of Street Fighter because I used to build those, but I didn't have an image of my Galaga, and I lost the image, and I had to rebuild it, which was a pain in the butt. And to this day, I still don't have Faz. I don't believe I have Faz Galaga on there, which I just hadn't been able to get it with the image that I'm using. So that's a bummer. Even on my countercade for Galaga, I don't have the Faz Galaga. And I prefer Faz Galaga over the normal Galaga. So let me get caught up with the chat here and see. James hates everything is in the house. Hey, happy holidays. So Jason Little Alien, let me see, I think that's Michael B. I explained that you have to watch the replay. My arcade, but not Arcade1Up. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Did a couple of 19. Oh, so Biggie said he changed out the monitor on his iArcade, but not the Arcade1Ups. Jason Little Alien says I did a couple of 19-inch screen upgrades from Buy Stuff. Nope. Apocalyptic Minister says nope, I didn't. I like the screens. Yep, I'm the same way. No complaints. Orion Dreams says just bought the Pac-Man XL, and the larger screen really is nice. Yeah, it definitely is nice having them, but I just don't see a need in upgrading the existing ones. Michael B. the Game Genie, I did both the Golden Tee and NBA Jam with the 19-inch, and I upgraded Pac-Mania with the 17-inch. MK monitor. Do have a 19-inch Buy Stuff coming for the Star Wars. And then Michael B, I know you have a 19-inch in your Pro. Do you still have your Pro, your Killer Instinct Pro? What up, 19K Fox? What are we drinking tonight? This is some Scotch whiskey. Woo! Johnny Walker over there. Hey, Fox, I saw your video on your arcade tour. Nice spot. Nice. I like what you did with the little stands for the new way, the numbskull quarter arcades. Yeah, I like what you did there. I have those poles here too, and you have to send me something on how you did that. I'll be very interested. I have this pole. I have a couple of poles here. That's this side of the black carpet or the black curtain. So that would be nice to be able to do that. So if you can do that, 19K, I would appreciate that. Maybe when I mod my first machine, he's going to consider the hello. He's going to consider the upgrading the monitor. I updated the 17-inch screen to 19-inch bi-stuff arcade monitors. My Jaws cabinet looks so much better with 19-inch bi-stuff monitor because it has that TN monitor. You have to watch the beginning of the video replay to get the story on that. No, she punches me in the gut and kicks me in the balls, so eyes are safe. She don't want to mess up her livelihood. She wouldn't hit me in the eye. If I can't see, I can't work. So she definitely wants me to work. Let's see here. Sega. So I did buy the buy stuff 19-inch in my big blue. That's the only one I've done. Yep, Michael B says he still has the K I Pro. Steph says, I wish I hadn't sold the KI. Now, Steph, did you have the Pro or the regular KI? Interested? Oh, the Arcade1Up. So, was that the regular one or the Pro that you had there? All right, so let me see what my notes said here. Okay, so naturally they didn't. Arcade1Up didn't put coin doors on the cabinets, right? Because their motto from the start was what? Can anyone remember? Put it in the chat. What was their motto regarding coins? Detroit Love, I actually watched a few of your mod videos. I'm going to do your OG coin door mod. Yeah, I got my coin doors from X Arcade. X Arcade, for years, I've always wanted to get their tank stick because I was playing my arcade games on my TV on the Raspberry Pi, and I wanted to get, and I obviously played on the PC, and I always wanted to get their tank stick. I never got it, so I'm glad I got their I don't even know what you call this thing. Michael B, how you call that? It's got so many letters. I call it the what's this here? Yeah, look, man. When you have scotch, you got to have notes, brother. You know, I don't have time to plan out things like you. You know, you're a pro at this. Yeah, the X Arcade 2 TV. This thing is cool, and it's basically built like a tank stick. The whole thing is solid. So I didn't see the motto there, but their motto was no coins necessary, no quarters necessary was the motto that they had. So given that was their motto when they started in 2018, naturally they didn't consider even showing a coin door, referencing, making people even think that you needed quarters, right? So they didn't. That's why they didn't put a coin door on. It didn't make sense because they were making cabinets that didn't require quarters. What do you need a quarter for? What do you need a coin door for if you don't need quarters? If quarters aren't required, right? So that was their philosophy. But a lot of the improvements on the cabinets that people bought later on were due to the community feedback because we wanted our backlit marquees. That's why you got those backlit marquees. We wanted coin doors. They came out with the stickers first, which initially seemed like, oh, it's better to have that sticker than to have the billboard of list of games. I think my Tempest was the first and only cabinet I had that had the sticker, and boy, that sticker was not. It was not good. It was not good at all. Yeah, so then they said, no, that sticker is not good. So they started coming out with the faux coin doors. What was the first cabinet that came out with the faux coin door? Anybody know what was the first Arcade1Up cabinet that came out with the faux coin door. But even before that cabinet was released, and their coin doors were never operational. They were just a faux coin door. The initial ones didn't have even lights on the coin insert coin sticker, and then they started coming out. For me, the first one I got that had the backlit. I want to say no. I don't think my my Blitz didn't come with a backlit coin door. I think I added the lights to that. I'm pretty sure. My Pro KI Pro was the first and only coin door that was both backlit and functional from Arcade1Up for my collection. But what about you guys? Which cabinets did you guys coin door? Do you have cabinets with the stickers? Do you have cabinets with the non-backlit? You have a coin door that's not backlit lit, or do you have one that's backlit but not functional, or do you have one that's both backlit and functional on the coin doors? My two cabinets, like I said, XRK, I have their coin doors. They went through a stage where they were like out. You couldn't find these things. Again, that was in the COVID pandemic era where everybody was at home. Nobody was spending money out the doors. So everybody was buying stuff indoors. So you had a shortage of coin doors for a while, but those things have been in stock forever now. Since, yes, those stickers definitely do suck. You can get real functional coin doors for about $75. That's, yeah, I think I got mine round about that, or maybe slightly lower, depending on sales. But they're definitely well worth it, and they're fully functional. And for you guys who don't know, the buttons on a real coin door for these cabinets, it's just a button. It just gets plugged in as a button. If it's a modded cabinet, then obviously it just plugs in there. I've never put a real coin door on a non or unmodified or stock Arcade1Up cabinet. So I would imagine you would have to splice the wire, the cable, the wire, and join that with the other button to get that. Has anyone in the chat have you ever added a functional coin door to a stock Arcade1Up cabinet? Okay. Did you put a real coin door that takes quarters, fully functional, backlit, on a stock cabinet? I'd love to hear about that. So Jonah Pacers fan says, yes, the aftermarket coin door was pricey. I have a 3D printer now, so it's pretty simple now. Yeah, I could have bought a 3D printer years ago and made all kinds of stuff, but you know, I didn't. I just never mind. I've always appreciated the guys that came on and made these third-party things possible. I've supported the guys with the backlit marquees after trying to make my own, and failing miserably with those. A lot of those guys have come and gone. So obviously, some of them dropped off once Arcade1Up started making them because that decreased their availability or possibility to have sales. But yeah, they're definitely all the stuff is pricey. I paid, I don't even want to get into it. All the stuff is pricey, but as long as you can get what you want and be happy and excited to have the cabinet exactly the way you want it, money is no object for most of us, because you don't have to do it right now. You can save up for it, you can wait, so it's not something you have to do day one. Yep, gotta have some backlit coin doors. It just adds to, it's just as important to the look of the arcade as the backlit marquee is for those coin doors to be lit. It just adds to it. My latest coin door, Retro 530, I added their door to my Star Wars cabinet. So Simpsons was the first with coin doors and the last. Okay. You're saying from Arcade1. That was yours, but was Simpsons the first cabinet from Arcade1Up with the faux coin door? I don't know if I saw anybody answer that. Yes, for sure. Show some Christmas spirit. And if you haven't subscribed, I still have my Zotar. I have a Zotar never opened, ready to put your address on the label box and ship it out to you. And if we can get to the 6,000 subscribers, hey Jason, how many subscribers I have now? I think it's less than 200 maybe, or less than 300 subscribers to get to that 6,000, and I want to give that thing away. I'm excited to give that away to anyone in the U.S. All right, so Pac-Man XL and all my Vault Edition cabinets have lit coin doors. What's Vault Edition? I'm not. Excuse my ignorance there, B. Kirby. What does that mean? The Vault Edition? I'm not familiar with that term. I'm planning on modding my Miss Pac-Man with real coin doors. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a video online that has explained putting a real coin door in a or in a stock Arcade1Up. If anyone has used that and seen that, I would love to see that, because I have not. No real coin doors. I put a fully functional coin door. I don't know what a carrot door it is, but it has a little mystery hole. You just pop your carrot in, and off you go. All right, you are a nutty little Santa there. Hello. Happy holidays. Guess selling isn't a bad idea, but dang, I want the real doors. Yeah. And so I don't have, so the ones that came with the faux coin doors, like the Blitz, I wouldn't take that out and put in a real coin door. I hadn't really had an interest in putting a coin door on things that I didn't mod, to give you extra games. I do have Tulsa's coin door on my Tempest, because Tempest, like I said, was the only one I had that had the drawing of the door, or the sticker of the coin door, and that was just horrible. So I have the Tulsa Arcades coin door on that. I think I have it in a box to make it functional, but I hadn't made it functional yet. But I do have that swapped out. And he created the boards and the coin door and a new board if you wanted. I'm really happy the way there's my Star Wars coin door went on there. Right where that coin door is where the game list was. So I was excited when I got the Star Wars, because they put that smaller billboard of the game list on the front, and I always said they purposely put that right in the spot that you can cover up with a coin door, and that's what I finally did. So for those who got the 2001 Star Wars, it came with the faux coin door, obviously, but the 2019 didn't, and so that worked out perfectly to cover up, that banner of games. Yeah, just over 300 remaining to get to 6,000, so I can give somebody that Zotar. If you don't have a New Wave Toys or Numbskull smaller cabinets, those things are incredible. I think if you have a space in your game room for those, or you're willing to give up some space for it, those things are really cool. The fact that those things are fully functional. I love this little setup here with my little 1/6 scale arcade. And so I purchased my kids ask me, what do I want for Christmas? And when I was growing up, I always wondered why do the dads always just get ties and belts and socks and underwear and all those things? Like they do so much for the kids and the family and the household. Why do they pay them back in socks and underwears and belts? And now I know, because anything that I want is going to be way out of any of their budgets, and I can get whatever I want and usually do. And those things, I'm sure I got a hole in one of my socks. Matter of fact, it has a hole on the top there. You can see there. I just rotate the sock because yeah, look at that right there. Look at that. Just rotate the sock. I'm not ashamed. I just won't buy. Now I will throw the underwears away if they get a hole, which I usually don't have a problem with those. But I wear through socks like crazy. I wear through gloves. I don't care what type of glove it is. If it's gloves are working in the yard, in the garage, to keep my hands warm. I just poke out the fingers. I poke out the toes. I wear wherever the weak point is in the sock. Same way I help to improve the coin doors on the arcades. I'm going to find the weakness in that arcade door. I'm the same. If any sock makers out there want me to sponsor your socks because you believe they're indestructible, look me up, palmloyal@gmail.com. But I digress. So I told my family, give me belts and socks. If you want to, give me some t-shirts, because I won't buy those things. I need those things. I'll just keep wearing whatever I got. So now I understand that is why that's why the fathers get that, because what can they buy us that we can't get ourselves? Cheers. I'm trying out these little stones. I don't know. I don't think they work. I don't think they last that long. I mean, but it's still cool enough. Glass is still cool. So I guess they work without watering down my drink. Let's see here. Catch up on the chat. First up. Okay. Let's see what Goofy Foot said. My first one up that came with the door. One of my first one-ups came with the coin door. Someone pushed the coin return out thinking they were functional. So that was the last one with the coin door. Wow. I don't have a coin door, but I have a court order as to a breathalyzer for my Ridge Racer cabinet. You are just going to keep being naughty, I see. What up, Josh? Happy holidays. Are you planning on building a little numbskull? Yeah. So I started to say this, and then maybe I took a sip. So I bought a new desk. And I bought a new desk for this because I don't have room, one, for my sit down, pole position. And I may put the sit one down instead of the stand up one, or both, I don't know. But the main thing, I don't have my Coca-Cola machine here. And that's a bummer. That Coca-Cola is essential to my arcade. But I don't have enough room. So I ordered a bigger table. But now, I think it's like 52 inch by 19 almost 20 inches. Only thing I don't like, it didn't come with a drawer, which I like to tuck away things, but I do have some shelves for all these little doodads and games and other things. But I'm thinking now that I may put the new desk here and then use this desk that I have currently for this replacement. And then this table, this one's a little a little shaky. I don't think it's not going to fall or anything, but something's missing on it. I'm going to use this for numbskull. So I'm going to put the numbskull on this one. So I got to make a new backdrop for that one. Um, so that's the plan. So to answer your question, yes, I will do a numbskull quarter scale little arcade. I have 5 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5. And plan on getting Battle Zone. Man, Battle Zone is going to be the centerpiece of that arcade. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to that. Oh, and I have a I have a skee ball on order from on pre-order. I'm in the pre-order line with everybody else. I forgot I even gotten it. It's been so long, but my Zotar, same way. That took a long time for her to get it, but I got it. So I don't mind uh, that it takes longer as long as I get it. Um, so Biggie says I like the New Wave toys and the GRS. Yep. So GRS, man, I had this thing in a box for so long, for at least a year, maybe a year and a half. I can't remember. And boy, was I glad I finally took this thing out of the box and put it together. And it's just amazing. This looks nothing like the original Build-A-Cade. But that Build-A-Cade, I was just so amazed at how well the parts are, the design, it's essentially a kit, right? You got to put together, so you get that thrill of building it. You just have to bring your own Pi or Viper board. But yeah, this is my only Build-A-Cade. If I get enough space, I definitely would like to add another one to it. Probably a Donkey Kong Jr. I would think would be my next one. By that time, they may have a Tekken template or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just simply amazed by this. I'm amazed at all of these little things here. The pinball from Stellar Pinball, even my arcade for the pole position, and for Space Invaders over there. I'm just impressed. So this is a mission, man. It's just not just New Wave toys. It's at least four, 5 vendors. 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 4 vendors, different vendors in there. And that's what I like about it. I'm not one of those guys like, oh, I can only support one company because, no. If they make good products, I'm going to support them. Quarter too big for my shelf. Yeah, they're considerably bigger. That was my first one. I had Pac-Man. That was the first one. Even the counter case. I have 2 counter cases, Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man, or Miss Pac-Man's. They're not married. And I initially didn't like it, but I like the portability though. So I like to take those places with me. I used to take my Street Fighter, the big cabinets places with me too. So because they were 2 separate pieces, it made it easier to transport. The change machine, yep. So I got the change machine there. Love that thing. Of course, I got all the ports, and I got a hub on there to be able to plug everything into it. I have a blue light. I don't want to turn off anybody else's stuff. And so I have the blue light that shines down. You got to get the carpet, and that looks really nice in the blue light. So with that little blue light, just a little tiny light that hangs up there, it always lights up that cabinet or that space. Really, really love it. What up, Chaotic? How you doing? Let's see here. Vault cabinets were deluxe cabinets. Okay, see, I just never heard that vault term. Atari 50 Deluxe, Galaga Deluxe, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, the Black and Pink Miss Pac-Man Deluxe. Okay, all have light up buttons and coin doors. Okay. All right, thank you for that information. 3-toe rule. Once you see 3-toe, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I ever get to that level, but and usually my heels, like I said, I wore out socks in every area, in the heels, in the toes, in the ball of the foot, You know, again, wherever the weakness point is, I'm going to find it. Unfortunately. Um, what up, evil genius? Biggie D just posted my December pinball tournament. Join us. Charlie Brown Christmas is they're playing over there. Let me catch up. He's saying the table's on sale for $2. I'm assuming that's on the at games cabinets. You should hit up Hobby Lobby and see what they have for the scale houses. So my basement, I still have the builders, what do you call it, installation on the walls, and so I don't have walls like you guys have. That's my biggest complaint about the basement because I have plenty of space. But I don't like that I don't have uh, walls to be able to put shelves up, to be able to put decor up, So, but I am working on some things to be able to put up some decor. Uh, have a Merry Christmas, man. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Um, I'm waiting on Black Hole. Yep, the GT or Golden Tee and Ski Ball. Yep, we all are waiting on that. Yep, that's definitely the Joe Sabo kit, JL or JJ. I'm sorry. Um, absolutely love it. Agree. It is definitely dope. As for arcades, Quantum FX, I purchased the original full size cab as well as uh, build perfect replicas. You like to build the perfect replicas. I love building cabinets. Um, yeah, I mean this Arcade1Up has definitely changed a lot of our game rooms, no doubt about it. Again, my game room before Arcade1Up, you know, compared to afterwards is night and day, night and day. Okay, all right. So let me check my notes and see where. Uh, okay, so the other thing I was talking about the mods. So you have other things that came on the scene, like to die for. To die for did some incredible control panels, right? I think there was a company called the One Up Mod Up or Arcade Mod Up. And you had a few different companies that actually did control panel swap outs. Did any of you guys do the control panel swap outs, not just the upgrading the joysticks or the buttons, but did you swap out, say, like for Big Blue to get the to die for to make it a one player, with the great controls, or did you get any of those other companies total replacement control panel replacement uh, control panels? Let me know. Did you replace the whole entire control panel with a third party product on your Arcade1Up cabinet? Yeah, the only thing about this, like I did a couple of videos. I don't know if you guys seen. I did a video showing off the arcade, and I did a rep video called "Back to the Arcade." If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out on the page. I also have another video, a rep video called "Welcome to My Arcade," which should be coming out over the holiday here, and it's going to be showcasing my 1/6 scale arcade, uh, and it's going to be with the song in the background. Welcome to my arcade. I think that song is fire. You guys will be the judge. Definitely let me know what you guys think when you see that. Um, But did any of you guys swap out your control panel with one of these third party control panels? So so the other thing I want to talk about. So we talk about the reshaping of Arcade1Up, right? So over the years, Arcade1Up, they modified their cabinets to get closer to like my Killer Instinct here. This was like the cream of the crop of the product that they made available. It had updated controls, though some people still argue that they weren't good enough. Again, my player one is the IEs, I think they're called, or EIs, whatever they're called, and the stock is on the player two. But they came with upgraded control panels, 19-inch screen, taller cabinet, no separate riser, fully functional backlit coin door, along with the backlit marquee. Even though they could have made that backlit marquee, the blacker's black. You know, this is where we thought they would get to and have their success, and then they just totally just went the opposite direction and went back to making the what people refer to as the peasant cades or the budget cades or the fire sale cades. So very interesting, but people started wanting to get bigger and more realistic, and some people actually went to just saying, well, I'm just going to get real arcades, get the old 40-50-year-old cabinets and just go from there, and get those dream cabinets that I wanted to get. So that decision on the fan base to switch, a lot of guys bought full size pinball machines. Obviously, the cost of those things definitely takes away money from buying the Arcade1Ups, right? So the monies were going elsewhere, and so that kind of helped shape the direction of Arcade1Up and where they would go in this continuing evolution from 2018 to 2025. Now, again, it was just a perfect timing, 2018 and 2019, because the pandemic hit. Everybody was housed up. We weren't able to go out and spend our money on traveling and doing other things outside the house, so people bought these cabinets. So it was like the perfect storm and perfect opportunity for Arcade1Up to be able to do so. And then we were housed up for a couple of years, and we voiced our opinions on what it should be, and they listened and made some adjustments over that time. But again, some people were still more satisfied, and they just went with either multi-cades or built their own completely or bought older arcades. And so all of this have led up to the reshaping of Arcade1Up. What up, Vic? Are we supposed to focus on these two guns or those gorgeous buns? Hey, I don't know. I think I started losing weight at this point in time, so my wife said my butt went with it. But again, 2018, early 2018, got my first cabinet, and the room started to change from there, and that's where we are today, right? Well, behind me now I have the whole 1/6 scale as well. Let me catch up on here. Are you using AI for those reps? They're fire. Yeah. So what I do is I write the lyrics. Completely, and then I use AI to compose the song. So I dictate and say, hey, I want to be a rap or a trap or R&B or country or whatever. I literally have made every genre. I've had over 100 songs. And I didn't put most of those songs on my Detroit Love channel. even though I say the artist's name is Detroit Love, even though it's not one particular artist or even trying to pretend it's one particular person. I pick different voices to get the song the way I want it. I have some female, I have some male, I have some collaborations, some duets. You know, I have some religious songs, I have some stripper songs. You know, I'm just all over the place. I just love the technology, and I just try out my creativity. Um, and I've written songs to my wife. You know, talking about the time we first met. Uh, Even the songs even been therapy, I think, at sometimes with some of the songs, some of the subject matters, but just enjoying it. So, and I may, the song that you hear in the end of it, I may have created 20, 25 versions of that song before I settled on the particular song that you would hear. So it goes through a lot of work to get it to be tweaking of the scripts, you know, adding breaks or call outs or instruments and all kinds of different things that you have control over, to make the song what it is. So, but yes, using AI with my to sing my lyrics. Um, so then I've been using AI in some of my videos. For example, with my 1/6 scale arcade cabinets, you know, I bought a stool, right? Two more stools for this mini arcade. Now, how exciting would that video be if I just say, "Hey, I got the New Wave Toys stool," and I open it up and pull it out and sit it on the thing? That would be a 5-second video, 10-second video tops, right? How much time would you even have? So even just to make a short, I use AI to kind of then make that stool. And if you hadn't seen that one, it's a pretty hilarious little short about the introduction of the two new stools in the mini arcade. But yeah, you can have fun with AI. It's a great technology. Vic says that my biggest gripe with the KI Pro is the control deck art is all wrong. Everything wavy. Love the mix of AI and real life. Sir Sega says I have the 1-Up Defender 40th edition cab and got the DIY Arcade Defender control panel. Added the Artmac buttons and Sanwa stick using two-way gates. I only play Defenders. Interesting. So I had a buddy. He passed away shortly. Greg Branch. A lot of my friends I had known since fourth grade. And Greg loves some Defender. He got that Partycade. That's the only one he ever had. I wonder what his wife did with that Partycade. But he was looking for a Defender. He was wanting to put a pie in. I said, no, that Partycade will satisfy you. You enjoy it. And he definitely did enjoy that Defender Partycade. Defender for me was one of those games I would play very sparingly. I never ever could master all the buttons and, you know, warping and flipping them backwards and, you know, and picking and rescuing the people when they're falling. It was just way too much stuff going on. Those little fast things jerking at you, you know. For you to be able to be good at Defender, you are definitely a multitasker, for certain. I have plenty of room. Just the full size are just too much to deal with. Yeah, like I say, I'm perfectly fine with the 3/4 scale. I do like the size of the Killer Instinct. It's still not the same as a full size one, but it's much taller. Yeah, but I'm definitely not interested in having a full size one. I've had opportunities. Matter of fact, my buddy, when he passed, his wife has so much junk over there, and she said, "Come and get whatever you want." And he had so much stuff, and it was just overwhelming. It was overwhelming just for how much stuff he had, but it was more overwhelming of everything I touched was a memory, right? I've known him since fourth grade, my best friend in life. So everything you picked up, right? Everything you picked up was like, remember this glass when we went to Vegas, and right, you know what I mean? So it was just too much. And so he had a Rygar. He had a Rygar in his garage that she said, "Hey, come and get this if you want it." I would love to have had it just for the memory of Sean. Would have been great to have, but yeah, I wasn't gonna haul that 300-pound cabinet over here and stick it somewhere. And I played tons of Rygar back in the day, but it's not a game that I would need to have a full cabinet for. I can play Rygar on other things. You know what I mean? But again, it would have been great to have the memory of it because that was something of his. But what I do have is my countercade. My countercade Galaga. I had given that to him because me and him used to play hours and hours of Galaga, and that's the person I spent the most time with in the arcade with growing up. So I had gave that to him, and when he passed, his uh, kids was like, "Hey, I know you gave this to my dad, and they're not really interested in that type of thing." So they was like, I wanted to make sure you got this," because his ex wife had had to go deal with that house, and she was overwhelmed by it as well. And they just pretty much sold the house as is, and they were fortunately able to just say, "Hey." The buyer was like, "We'll get rid of where we don't want to keep," right? So there was tons of stuff in there. I'm sure they resold stuff at resale. I don't know why this thing's driving me crazy. But anyway, it was that Rygar was there, and I could have had that. So yeah, so I could have had it, but just no interest in the full cabinet, even in that very sentimental, great reason to have it and keep it. It just didn't justify it in my book here. Um, so I agree with you, Minister. Let's see here. So Detroit, do you do retro gaming along with collecting Arcade1Ups? Um, so I do have a couple of modded. I have the my arcade Atari game station console, and I have all those old things on it. I really wanted to get that NES from Nintendo, but I never did. I got the fake Chinese version that was horrible, and I hated that thing. But PlayStation 2, I still have my original PlayStation 2, so um, I've always wanted a Dreamcast, and that's one thing I'm sure was in the house somewhere because Sean always had a Dreamcast. He probably had a Intellivision somewhere in the house, but again, it was so much stuff there in so short a time. Between working, trying to assist with her, and getting him, the funeral and everything. It was just such a short time frame, and between have the family and getting it clear. He's like an hour away. You know what I mean? I'm sure that Sega was there in that basement somewhere, and then television. I would have loved to have gotten that, but I keep saying I want to get a Dreamcast. Some of my favorite games are on that. PlayStation 2. I had two PlayStation 1s, two PlayStations 2. I skipped the PlayStation 3 and 4, and then I got back into PlayStation at 5. I had switched over to Xbox in between PlayStation 2 and 5. I had the 360 and the S1 or whatever this Xbox was called. I didn't get the X. I had the S. So I'm into those things, but I just don't have a whole lot of time to play those things. Even my PlayStation 5 has got very little use. I don't think I finished any game on it. I never finished any of those games. I just like to have those games, be able to pull them out, play Resident Evil, play Watch Dogs, play Grand Theft Auto, play all these different things for just a short amount of time. I seldom ever stick to the missions. I just free will it. I'm free roaming through the environment, just causing chaos wherever I go. Same way I do in real life. Don't stick to script, as this video demonstrates. Um, but I love the retro, and I always said that's the next evolution, right? We got these cabinets, everybody's retro there. That's the next step because that's where we all went to, is into the consoles from the arcades. Because we wanted those arcades at home. Most of those things were crappy. I played tons of ColecoVision, Atari, uh, Tandy, Commodore PET, Television, all those games. But I have very, very little interest in playing crappy Pac-Man on the ColecoVision or OK Decent Donkey Kong on ColecoVision. You know what I mean? When I can play in them in so many different ways. So I have zero interest. And television was revolutionary when it came out with the multi-directional. You can play basketball and actually pass diagonally. Right? Those things were phenomenal technology for the time, revolutionized the gameplay and what the potential of what a home arcade cabinet could be outside of just emulating what was at the arcade. So I give them ups for that. Again, I'm not a collector. I don't put things on shelves and just display them. Everything I have, I touch, I feel, I play with, I mess with, I interact with. So until I get to a point where I just need to have something on the shelf to look at, I find very little need to get them because if I'm not going to have time to play them, I don't see a great need to have them, if that makes sense. Jason said he once had a Defender, but as well, but he sold it since. Man, thanks for stopping on. Happy holidays. I am going on an hour and a half. Yeah, Defender is definitely a complicated game. I've been through that many times, Carl. It's really tough, really rough sorting through things from others that have passed. Yeah, yeah. The emotional side is it just can be overwhelming. Um, uh, Rygar is the cruel of games. Sentimental memories are tough. Yep. Uh, think about what you want to trade for my Dreamcast when I come to Detroit tomorrow. What up, brother? I didn't know you were coming to town. I'm going to be delighted. Do you know if our older brother's coming out as well, Antonio? Let me know. Because I hadn't heard. Just bring that Dreamcast with you. Don't even. I got something for you. And bring all your games. Dreamcast was legit. Now my brother there just said he had the Neo Geo. Is Neo Geo the one that was super expensive? I don't know if it was Neo Geo, but whatever that game thing was like $800 or something crazy, outrageous. I'm like, why are you paying that type of money, Antonio? If you're still on here, let me know what that cabinet that you had. That would just, yeah, that was the Neo Geo. Oh, I just that never made sense to me. I just couldn't. I couldn't. Yeah, I am a big fan. I am definitely a big fan of Moon Patrol. I'm gonna have to play that over the holiday here. Yeah, that was one of my one of the games that I played tons of at the arcade and on console. I appreciate Moon Patrol. Simple game, challenging game. I usually like what's that jungle? What was it? Jungle Hunt, King of the Jungle. What was the one the Tarzan swing from the ropes and um, those games. It's something about certain games that they hit you because there's plenty of games I played that I have very little interest in playing. Other games I absolutely love. Um, and everybody's different. I know I had a buddy come over, and I still can't remember what this game was. It was like a double name, like Zig Zig or Zag Zag or Zaga Zaga. I don't know what the heck this thing was, but you had the little alien had a little gun. You had these little monsters chasing them in the maze, and you had to come out of the maze or out of the center, and you got to shoot them, but you had to get back to the center after killing them or before they get you. If anybody having any idea what game I'm talking about, I had seen it before, but it's not something I played. But when he came over my house, he was like, "Do you have this game?" And I did have it on the thing because I have thousands of games on the two modded cabinets. I had no idea what that game he was talking about, but it was on there, and he played that thing for hours straight of that game because that was the game that he had available to him at that point in his life when you had nothing but time on your hand. What up, Quarter K? Let's go. So yeah, I'll be there. No, it's a 3DO. Yeah, the 3DO. That thing was super expensive. 3DO cabinet. It had like video, right? You had real actors, and you know, whatever happened to that? Did you sell it at the pawn shop? What'd you do with that thing? What up, though? Dreamcast, the one system I don't have anymore. House of the Dead, Swark of Berserk, Sonic Adventure. So my games was and this was also on PlayStation as well. But Ready to Rumble, I want Ready to Rumble. I want to be able to play Ready Rumble and Ready Rumble 2. Those were the main two games I like playing. That I don't have really a way to play. I mean, I can play everything on the PC and emulate to the TV and all that, but I want to play that on the console. Yeah, I get it, buddy. Hey, Josh. So did any of you guys? So it wasn't the Neo Geo, it was the 3DO. Did any of you guys have the 3DO game system? Let me let's see. He's not showing the. I was going to try and see this 3DO gaming system here. Oh yeah, Panasonic. Yeah, it was Panasonic 3DO. Yeah, see, he's not. These people aren't showing the thing. Let me put this down here. I don't know what he's talking about there, but let me switch that out. Share screen, window. And I'm not going to do audio at all. Remove the other media. Okay. So I'll just show some of the 3DO stuff there. Why is my mouse coming over? Oh, it's down there. Okay, I'm like, what's going on here? Wizard of War. Nope, that's not the game I'm talking about. I think I traded the 3DO for some house speakers and an amplifier. Yes, I had a 3DO with the Super SF2 and Road Rash. Road Rash I played tons of Road Rash on on the consoles. I think it was it on either with Super Nintendo or uh, or Sega. I can't remember which. I think it was a Sega game. Yeah, that 3DO was crazy expensive on release. All right, let me see my notes. I think we're wrapping up here. The growth slowed, the market saturation hit, the cost rose, fewer new releases came out, and they just pushed out the licenses that they had: Pac-Man, Mortal Kombat. Obviously, they got a few new things like there's Road Rash. Yeah, that was my game. That was my game right there, Road Rash. So this is what 3DO had, where they could have these videos, alongside with the game. Some of the games were like full video motion. I remember my brother had one. I don't know if it's like a scary thing or a murder mystery or something. I vaguely remember these things, but yeah, I never could get that purchase. I was like, that's just too much money. Too much money. Yeah, Road Rash on the 3D on the PlayStation. Yeah, Road Rash is the game. I would love to. Is that available on the current consoles, PlayStation 5? I need to get me some Road Rash. Can you play Road Rash on the modify on the Raspberry Pi images that we have on the Arcade1Up mods? Yeah, Road Rash was good. I don't know what this game is here. But yeah, but nobody found that game. That's because Jason's probably gone because he knows all this stuff. I don't know what it's called. Zag. I don't know. Arcade. I think I was trying to find it before, and I have no idea. Well, I guess I'll have to look on my cabinet because I had on my cabinet at least initially. Arcade cabinet, 80s game with double word in name. This to get nothing. How you don't have any? Oh, I'm searching my photos. I'm like, how you don't have any entries? I think I tried finding it before and I could never find it. I don't know what that game is. If I ever get it, I'll put it in the comments of this video. But guys, I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me on a what's this Monday night? Monday night. I may do another video. This was a nice turnout. I think it was pretty entertaining. Zing zip. I don't know about Zing Zing. It's definitely something like that. And I know it's either with a Z or an X. It definitely no. It's definitely not a zigzag. I don't know what the heck that even. Yeah, maybe I just call him up over the holidays and get the actual name of it. That would help. But you guys don't have a okay. So what was I say? I'll say arcade game featuring aliens in maze with center safe zone. No, they don't know. Nobody knows. Not Zap Zone. No, nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's that obscure of a game. But the whole point I was making is to him, that was his all-time favorite game. And who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Oh yeah, Battle Chess was awesome. I had it on PC. Thank you, Eva Genius. Yeah, I've tried Googling. I cannot find it. Oh no, it was a double name game. I don't know. It's gonna drive me crazy. But you know what? A little more scotch, and then I don't even care about it anymore. Well, that doesn't look like a very comfortable controller at all. Let me see. Let me bring this down here. I shouldn't cover up that because I'm just sharing that window. Come on. Oh, maybe it will. I'll maximize it. Stop it. Stop it. What'd you say? I'm trying to see both yours. Let me split this screen. There we go. This one. All right, you said. I know it when I see it. That's for sure. Because he played it for hours. Arcade. Of course, people. Nope. Nope. That's not it either. So let me try and explain it one more time. You had this character that looked like it was a man that's like he's like in a spaceship, and you had these like dinosaur-looking alien creatures that were chasing him through the maze. And there was a centerpiece. It was almost like playing tag. You can come out that maze and you can go and try and shoot them, and you shot your laser gun, and your beam just went straight down the path, or whatever's in your path, it would shoot. But those things were fast. They would zigzag through the maze super fast, and if you could get back to that center, that was like, like when you're playing tag and you had the safe zone. If you got to that safe zone, they couldn't hurt you, and even if you killed them, yeah, it kind of looks like Wizard of War, but it's not Wizard of War. I would imagine maybe it was a. Let's see that maybe they. No, but see, no, because no, that's definitely wasn't it. Nope, Jason, that's definitely not it. Again, I know it when I see it. I have to call him and ask him what the heck the name of that thing was. It definitely was a 2-syllable name. Complete list of 80s arcade games. This is gonna kill me. No, they're just doing top list 100. Because I see this game is so obscure. I don't think it would even be on a top 100. I see Wizard of War on there on the list. Of course, they don't have an alphabetical order. I guess I could be sharing it. You guys can look. Window. Battle Zone. Man, I can't wait for Battle Zone. I used to love some Crazy Climber. They got a lot of quarters and a lot of smushed fingers in Crazy Climber. Warlords. What's Warlords? That now that sounds like it. No. No. Man, this guy, how you say Boskin? Oh, this game should drive me crazy. I've never been able to play this properly on any emulation. Oh man, Kevin Clausen, man, thanks for the $2 super chat. What up, though? What up, YouTube? It's your boy Kevin Clausen with a $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. Happy holidays. Appreciate you. Man, this thing got a lot of chords. That's a difficult game. Only thing I think was more difficult is that the one that goes alive, alive. Is that the one? Alive, alive. And those little tiny little things, you got to try and collect all those little tiny little buggers. Phoenix, yeah, with the Phoenix and the little thing exploding with the little characters. Let's see. All right, let me catch up on the super chat. You've stumped. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I ain't checked super chat. I'm sorry, the Chat GPT. Yeah, it sounds like Wizard War, but it's not. I've been thinking about getting a. I almost got this. The steering wheel for the PC I can mount right here on this desk and play the racing games with this big 35-inch curved monitor here. Does any of you guys have that the wheel for the PC, the brake? You got the stick shift, you got the gas pedal and brake pedal, and the wheel. Anybody have that on their PC? That's around about $200. It looks like. I've been thinking about getting that. Almost got it. I was stuck in Best Buy getting a electric starter put in my daughter's car, and I was there for like 2 hours. And normally I'd be delighted to be somewhere for 2 hours, but that 2 hours something it took forever. And I even went and got lunch somewhere in -2-degree weather. It seemed like with a baby blizzard that was happening. Walked a mile to get get some food because they had the car obviously to put the thing in. And I wanted to get out of Best Buy. It's like I've seen everything in here I want to see, but at the time I saw that racing wheel and almost got that thing. So the quarter case, I finally understand quarter scale arcades and dioramas. Those things are incredible. Yeah, like I said, until you have one, because when you look at them on the screen, you can't really get it in perspective. Those things are awesome. Obviously, there are two different scales, quarter arcades and New Wave toys, but those things are freaking amazing that you can have this cabinet function as it did and just be shrunken. Like somebody literally took a ray gun and shrunk it down. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but when I find it, you guys are gonna be like, oh, no, I definitely want to dig that. Yeah, I know all these things here. No, it wasn't right, guy. I'm not sure what I missed there, Kevin Clausen. Now you got me trying to figure it out. Yeah. Yeah, Zaxxon, I have not been able to play well on any emulation, the control wise. I would love to have I would love to have a quarter scale Zaxxon. A quarter scale Zaxxon. I don't know if I play Super Zaxxon, but I imagine it's better. Sometimes that's not the case. But Zaxxon, I would love to have. I would love to have Vanguard. You guys ever play Vanguard? Vanguard, I played tons of that. You can't play Vanguard really easy. I have this on one of my machines, but because the buttons aren't in the right orientation, my brain can never concentrate properly to control it and shoot in the right direction properly. But if I can get a Vanguard quarter scale, hello, I just do a quarter scale Vanguard, that would be awesome as heck, man. Vanguard I love. Going through this list here, trying to find this guy. Things that jump out at me. Played tons and tons, hours and hours on Joust. Um, Growing up, for sure. Food Fight. That's not anything until I really learned about until since 2018, talking with you guys. Moon Patrol. We talked about that earlier. Played tons of that. Jungle King. That's the other one I was talking about. Millipede and Centipede. Tons of hours on those. Pole Position. That sound effect alone. Prepare to qualify. That alone is why I got the My Arcade for $40, whatever it was. I was thinking this is gonna be a crappy game. There's no way it's gonna be fun on this little cabinet. It's shorter, right, than the this 1/6 scale. But with that mod to make that a 1/6 scale cabinet, that pole position is rock solid, man. I am so glad I picked that up. Because I just got it for the sound effects. I just would have turned it on and heard that sound and would have been happy for it. But I can actually sit there and play that pole position. Man, that rocks. No doubt about it. Popeye, I used to love to hate that. That game is so damn hard. Only game I think is harder in a similar fashion is the one we just got the statue here in Detroit for, RoboCop. RoboCop is just a quarter Stiller all day. Popeye was one of the first subtle quarter eaters because Popeye was difficult. Cubert, that the directional thing on there, that was never worth my quarter at all. Sinistar. So Sinistar is the one. I think Sinistar is the one that says, yeah, I hunger. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Sinistar, I played tons of that. Sinistar. Super Cobra plays tons of that. Not at the arcade, but on the console. Joust is my favorite game. Yes, for sure. Joust. I love me some Joust to this day. I'll pull that out and play that on any size. Yeah, Popeye. I mean, obviously we grew up with Popeye, the Sailor Man cartoon. That was just a staple in the house. You had to play that one, but it was difficult. Yeah, I never cared for that Cubert, man. It was just too much. Zaxxon, love me some Zaxxon. Crystal Castles, people talk about all the time. Never was a big fan. Tron and Discotron always were difficult games, but I definitely got put some quarters in that. Elevator Action, I have that on the numbskull. Used to play tons of that there. Mappy, played tons of that, bouncing on the thing there for sure. Mario Brothers, no doubt. Mr. Do, played tons of that. Spy Hunter, never really was that good at it. Tapper, for sure. I never really played Star Wars, but I enjoy my cabinet now. Tapper, played tons of that. Track and Field, oh my goodness. I used to tear my fingers up slapping that thing and never really got anywhere. Never really was good at that thing, but I always liked running. Did track, so that was something that appealed for me to try. 1942, all those series there, I just never could get into. I was a Galaga man, starting out with Galaxian. Galaxian was too simple. Space Invaders, Galaxian, too simple. But then Galaga, love Galaga. After Galaga, I think, in my opinion, all the shooters just went to shit. It's like they became quarter eaters. They threw everything, I think, including the kitchen sink at you. They throw bombs at you in every direction. You had to just maneuver so crazy. Just like my helicopter we talked about, I got 10 feet off the ground and crashed it because I had to do too many controls. Crash and burn on these type of games because I'm not going to survive long at all. Too much stuff being thrown at me. That's not my type of game. Give me a Galaga, I can play for hours. Kung Fu Masters plays ton of that. Marble Madness, you had to play that, right? With the trackball, just for the uniqueness of that. I think that's why a lot of people like the is it Crystal Castles with that ball. I could always I like the marbles, but the Crystal Castle, I play it every now and then. It drives me crazy. The bears and the bees, they get me every time. Yep, I think I gave my brother the 1942. Um, he always give me something, so I had to give him that. He wanted to have one of these 1/6 scales in the house. Uh, yeah, R type I could deal with more so. I think I think going from left to right was a little better for me with those kitchen sink throwing at you games versus the verticals. The verticals, just something about it. I just seem like you have more control going left and right, uh, but it's got to be the same thing, but just visually for my eyes. Punch out, tons of punch out. Chopper lifter, used to love that. Gauntlet, oh man, they ate up so many quarters. Ghosts and Goblins, I have that, and Ghouls and Ghosts behind me in the 1/6 scale arcade. Always a difficult game. Always a difficult game. Uh, yep. So I still don't see that game. I don't know where the game. Rolling Thunder. Always loves some Rolling Thunder. Always was quite hard, but I always played it. Bubble Bobble. Never played that until now. Yeah, Robotron. I liked Robotron. I never was. You had to work two different sides of your brain to be able to work them two different controls. Shoot in directional with this one, move directional with that. That was just always too much sensory overload for me. Um, so I was never gonna be like one game I used to like bubbles. When you're in the sink, trying to avoid those stuff. I would play it every now and then, but it was just always a little bit too much for me. Uh, all right, guys. Well, we're at the 2 minute mark. Still got 22 people in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys coming in. Lot of participation tonight, man. A couple of super chats, man. I thank you guys for that. Really appreciate you. I love you guys, man. I hope you guys have a fantastic holiday. I'll probably do something after the holiday in between Christmas and New Year's, do another chat. We can hang out and talk about the coming new year and all that, man. But make sure you spend some time with families and friends. Get out in the house, interact with some folk, and just enjoy life, man. Get away from these gadgets, these screens. Talk with some people face to face. Enjoy it, man. I appreciate it. I love you guys. And until next time, I'll see you on the web. On the web, man. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching Detroit Love. Please subscribe to the channel. Like and share the video. We want to see and read your comments below. And until next time, I'll see you on the web.
I guess we'll have to do another.
Thanks for watching Detroit Love. Please subscribe to the channel. Like and share the video. We want to see and read your comments below. And until next time, I'll see you on the web.